Alright guys, we are going to make the bulgogi beef dish. For this recipe, I'm going to be using beef chuck roast. We're going to make a pretty large amount of bulgogi. You can use any beef you prefer with this recipe, honestly, because you're going to cut this beef so thin that any beef will do. So, we decided to do a beef chuck roast. We did get this 50% off, so we need to go ahead and cook it now. Then you'll need 1 onion, an apple or a pear. Typically you use a Korean pear, but you can also use an apple. You just want that texture that the apple or the pear gives you and the sweetness. So your choice, pear or apple. You will need 6 cloves of garlic, a bundle of green onions, some sesame seeds, brown sugar, salt, pepper, soy sauce, red powder, ginger, and sesame seed oil. So this is all the ingredients. We're going to go ahead and cut up our beef and our veggies. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut up the meat and then place it in this container. For the meat, we're cutting it super thin. This is going to take some time because this is so much of it. So I had to cut it in 4, and then I'm going to be cutting it about this size. Very thin. Alright guys, now we're going to go ahead and cut up our garlic. For the onion, you want to just cut it very thin, in thin strips. Go ahead and peel your apple, the skin off of the apple. For the apple, you want to just slice it and then dice it really, really small. And then add your apples into a separate bowl. So we're going to make the marinade for the steak and onions. Next, add your ginger paste. Do about a tablespoon of the ginger. In here I have a half a tablespoon of sesame seeds, 1 tablespoon of the chili powder, and then salt and pepper. Next, I'm going to do half of a tablespoon of sesame oil. And 1 tablespoon. So 1 1/2 tablespoons of sesame oil. And then next, add 1/4 cup of your soy sauce. After you give that a good mix, add 1 more cup of 1/4 soy sauce because you want this to cover the steak. So we're going to add 1 more, 1/4 cup. So now give that another mix. So 1/2 cup total of soy sauce. And then pour the marinade right on top of that steak. Alright, it should look something like this. And then you're just going to place the lid on, pop it in the fridge for an hour. If you go past an hour, that's even better, but I would definitely say keep it in the fridge for a minimum of 1 hour. Alright guys, I have a pan heating up right now with some sesame oil. I'm going to go ahead and add our meat mixture that's been marinating for an hour. So we're going to go ahead and add that to the pan. And now we're just going to let this cook. And this does take a while, and you want to cook it really well. The longer you cook it, actually, the better it gets. And it's already so tender from the ingredients that we added. So just get it real charred and crispy and just let it cook. Okay, while the beef is cooking, I drained some of the sauce and I put it into this pot, and we're going to let this boil. You are able to eat this if you boil this sauce. Alright, here is the sauce in the container, and here is the bulgogi, and it's cooling down. I'm going to serve this over white rice with some kimchi and some radish, and then I will drizzle the sauce on top. Alright guys, I'm going to show you how we eat our Korean barbecue. We eat it in lettuce. That's how they do it. It's honestly, this way is so good. So any kind of lettuce, you need like a leafy lettuce. You add just a little bit of rice. This is the sweet rice that we bought, and you want to measure out your rice. I already know how much I'm eating, but for point wise, just measure out your rice. Add some beef, the bulgogi. We're going to add some of that on top. A little bit of kimchi. You can add yellow radish if you want, or just eat it on the side, but I like to add just a little yellow radish. And then this coconut paste is optional. This is a sour, spicy coconut paste that we like, and we usually put this on top. So that is optional. I'll show you what it looks like inside. So that is what it looks like. You can get it at the Asian market. So just put a little bit of that on there. And then this is the marinade sauce that we boiled in the saucepan. We have that to dip in. And then just fold it up like this and eat it.
I've been missing your strawberry